Tennessee has had quite a few 10-win seasons over the years. But you can only count changing in quarterbacks from the Doug Dickey era because I don't know, those who don't know Tennessee history, Robert Nealon and Belton Wyatt stuck with the single wing. The single wing, there was never really an actual quarterback. You didn't need, like, there were 3 guys and it could be snapped to any one of them during that time.
Right.
And so quarterback wasn't really a thing until Doug Dickey introduces the slot T, and Dewey Warren becomes a breakout superstar for Tennessee. So going back to that time, Tennessee has had 5 10-win seasons in which they had to replace a quarterback the next year. The first was actually Bill Battle's first year, believe it or not. That would have been 1970. They went, for those who don't know, Tennessee actually went 11-1 that year, finished in number 4, I believe, and won the Sugar Bowl, but did not win the SEC championship because they lost to Alabama. Quarterback that year was Bobby Scott. I'm sure you know of him. He followed Dewey Warren, won the SEC in '69. That was actually a very successful quarterback. The next year,
begin sentences with, well, you know. So, who's going to win Saturday? Well, you know, I think it'll be Tennessee. Go ahead.
So how'd they do the year after Bobby Scott left? Well, they went 10-2 and finished in the top 10. Pretty good. Well, that year was 1971 when they did that. They had Condrich. That was another year where they had 10 wins, and then they had to replace their quarterback the next year, which was 72. In 71, Jim Maxwell was their quarterback. They were waiting for Condrich Holloway to start, who started in 1972. And how did they do after 71? They went 10-2 again in 1972. And then, as for people who know the history, Bill Battle started to taper off and got fired to make room for Johnny Majors. But so then we fast forward to 1997. Tennessee wins the SEC championship. They go 11-2. Then they have to replace Peyton Manning. Dave, how'd they do when they replaced Peyton Manning? I'm trying to remember.
Okay, they won a national title.
They did. There
were a couple of close games if you want to nitpick. By the way, check out the Celebrate 98 series on our YouTube channel. Go ahead.
Another one, 2003. They went 10-3 with Casey Clausen. They entered 2004 with C.J. Leak, Brent Schaefer, Eric Ainge, and Rick Clausen. And guess what? They overachieved. They won the East that year and went 10-3 again. And that summer.
That was still the period of Philip Fulmer can do no wrong.
It was.
And then it came crashing down the next year. All right.
Crashing. And then so far, what I'm showing you is Tennessee does pretty good when they have to replace a quarterback from a 10-win season. But then there's just one more. You know, in 2007, they won the SEC East and went 10-4. And then 2008 happened.
Yeah, and they fired their most legendary coach, one of the 2 most legendary coaches. Definitely the most legendary coach in the modern era. So that went south quick. I don't think that's going to happen to Josh Heupel with Joe Milton this year.
No, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think you're going to have God, what was that Auburn game that year? That might have been the worst game I ever watched. That 14-12 game. I don't think you're going to remember that. And I don't think that's going to happen. But
right,
yes.
So Caleb stoking the optimism once again. He's already picked a national title for 2024. Now he's saying that Tennessee, is a close second place in the college football championship game. Is that what you were saying this year?
Well, no, because they don't have Derek Dooley coaching them. So he would get
That's the key. City Heating and Air Conditioning, cityheatandair.com. Integrity matters. Over 50 years of experience in East Tennessee. The temperatures are going to rise, and you need to make sure that you've got somebody that can say, hey, you just need a new part or coolant. You don't need an entirely new unit altogether. Well, that's where integrity matters. City Heating and Air, cityheatandair.com.